Thank you. I'm very happy to be at the Joey Ito era of the Media Lab. If he changes things here as much as he changed things for me, it will be very interesting. And I don't think it's an accident that we're converging, because I think everybody knows that the various media that I'm going to discuss, that we've all got in our pockets, many of you have on your laps, are changing things. They're changing the way we think. They're changing the way we communicate. They're changing our society. So if, like many others, you are concerned that social media are making people and cultures shallow, then I propose that we teach more people how to swim and explore together the deeper end of the pool. The way you use a search engine, or stream video from your phone, or update your Facebook status matters. It matters to you and to me and to everyone, because these are not only essential survival skills for individuals these days, but the way we in the aggregate use these media today are going to influence the way they're used and misused for many years to come. And very recently, I'm sure you are as aware as I am, there have been posed some strong criticisms of the social impacts, destructive social impacts of our use of social media, the impacts perhaps on the way we think. I pay close attention to technology criticism, and I think we all need to critically examine the way we use media. But criticism, while necessary now, is not sufficient. Knowing that something is broken, or that there are costs to it that we had not thought of when we first started using it, is not really enough to tell you what to do to fix it or to ameliorate it in some way. So instead of confining myself to questions such as, is Google making us stupid? Is Facebook commoditizing our privacy? Is Twitter chopping our attention into micro slices? I've been asking myself and others how to use social media intelligently and humanely, and above all, mindfully. This is really the first book in which I've drawn primarily on my own experience. If you've read my previous books, you know I try to document my claims. So I've done a lot of reading of the scholarship and the science around it, but I've also talked to a lot of people who know what they're talking about, names that would be familiar to people here, certainly Joy and Mimi, where you will find me quoting them in the book, but Jimmy Wales from Wikipedia, or Dana Boyd and Barry Wellman from the sociology side. Annette Smart is about what I've learned. And what I've learned is that I think we can improve life for individuals, enable them to become more successful, and at the same time, improve the commons, improve the state of the media sphere by enabling people to master a set of literacies, 5 literacies, and start with attention, participation, collaboration, crap detection, and network know-how. And I'm moving from skills to literacies quite specifically. If you know how to swim, then if you fall in the deep end of the pool, that will serve you very well. But if you're the only person in the world who knows how to read and write, or to create a web page, that's not going to do you a great deal of good. The literacies I'm talking about involve not only the skills of encoding and decoding in these media, but the social part, the ability to use these skills and these media in concert with others to get things done. So I want to start with attention, because it's really the fundamental literacy. It's not only for our use of social media, but it's the foundation of thinking and communicating. And there's a great deal of material about that, and it's something that occupies us, but it's not something that we devote a great deal of thought to. There are a number of ways in which the media that we carry with us, that are on our desktops, that are pretty much part of our lives, for most of our lives, call upon our attention and distract our attention. Some of you may remember seeing the video that these stills are taken from. It was from a surveillance camera in a mall. It captures a young woman who falls into a fountain while she's texting. I'm surprised that 1 in 6 Americans have admitted to the Pew surveys that they have bumped into something or someone while texting. And I think probably you're familiar with Sherry Turkle's work, and a lot of the most poignant things that she says have to do with the attention between a parent and a child, and the parent looking at the BlackBerry while the child is asking for their attention. So certainly our mobile media call on our attention. If probably some of you are teachers in classrooms, and if you are teaching in a college classroom practically anywhere in the world today, you are facing many students who are looking not at you, but at their computers. And they could well be, and indeed are, checking to make sure you really know what you're talking about. And they're asking each other questions. And they're looking things up. And they're Facebooking. And they're probably participating in a raid in World of Warcraft. You're standing in front of the class, you have no idea what actually they're doing. And I realized that the students didn't know what it looked like from where I sat. This was one of the first classes I taught. It was before I learned to put the chairs in a circle. There's no back row in a circle, and it has a dramatic change. But so, with their permission, I did a little bit of video of what it looked like from where I stood, and again, with their permission, I put it up on YouTube, and the next time I came to class, I projected that up on the main screen, and while I did that, I had a camera at the back of the classroom looking at what was happening on the students' screens. And this student here, for some reason, while I'm projecting that video of that class on the screen in front of the room, he's decided he wants to look at it directly from YouTube on his laptop. And for some reason, he then decides he wants to look at my personal website. And then as the camera pulls away, you can notice he goes back to doing his email. And the interesting thing about this student, who really got me to thinking about this, is that this was an A+ student. Years go by without an A+. I'm sure if I had stopped him and asked him what I was talking about, he would have been able to tell me. Now, the recent research by Cliff Nass at Stanford and others on media multitasking seems to indicate pretty strongly that somewhere around 95% of people who think that they are working more efficiently while they are multitasking are actually degrading the performance on the individual tasks. So I wonder whether this is one of the 5%, whether he was able to pay attention to what was on his screen and what was going on in the room at the same time. And more importantly, nobody really knows this yet. Are these people, these 5%, this young man, are they born that way? Are they able to multitask the way some people are able to run faster or jump higher? Or did he learn something? Did he learn something that maybe we could find out and maybe we could teach others?